Good morning. It is Talking Reds live from Liverpool with me, Gareth Roberts, him, Craig Hannan. Building up to the Champions League obviously starts tonight. The Reds will play tomorrow, AC Milan at Anfield. The first time we've faced them not in a final. When it's been a competitive game, we've played them in a few friendlies. So yeah, we'll hear that music again tonight, Craig, and it's a bit interesting. It's interesting, I think, this time around in that, you know... Oh, that was weird. Can hear myself back on something somewhere. Yeah, it's a bit different this time around in that I think we always say, you know, this competition is getting very predictable with the seeding and the pots and the way they do it, and it's going to get even more predictable when they bring that new format in, but, you know, let's not get into that because it's dull as fuck. But, you know, you look at the games tonight, for instance, and, like, you know, there's Barcelona and Bayern tonight, and, like, you know, that in the group stages, and, like, us and AC Milan in the group stages, you know, is interesting because basically some of the big boys, well, AC Milan, this is the first time they're in it for 7 years, but some of the big boys in Europe didn't win the league, so they ended up in a different pot, so now they've ended up in groups together, and it's a bit interesting, isn't it?
It is. It's why we love the Champions League, and I was so excited, first of all, whenever I saw our group, whenever our group was drawn. I know a few people would have rather easy groups and so on, but I think given the fact that fans are back in, the fact that we've got all of these games to look forward to, I was like, yes, Atletico Madrid, a little bit of revenge there. AC Milan, a team we've not seen play at Anfield before, which is wild if you think about the history of both sides, and the history of the sort of rich history that's come from just 2 games between the two of them. And then, yeah, you're right, I actually didn't know that that game was on tonight.
Yeah.
But that'll whet the appetite perfectly for tomorrow. I just can't wait to get into it. I think the fact that it is AC Milan, it's the name rather than the sort of the club of the same stature of 05 and 07, isn't it? It's the same club, but it's the team. I'm looking at the team, and it's not Gattuso, and it's not you know, the Maldini and so on, is it? But yeah, I can't wait to get in the ground and just... I think on these European nights there's something special about whenever it's a side of that pedigree and a club of that pedigree. I think that just adds this sort of element to it. You're walking up to the ground, you're about to see AC Milan. I've never seen them in the flesh before, so it's quite exciting for me. You have Istanbul.
I have, twice. Athens. Yeah. Revenge for Athens. Been waiting for 14 years for it.
have you been counting down, watching all the draws?
Here we go.
Milan.
Let's get them back. But no, you know, 13 European Cups between the two sides. Arsenal still haven't won one, Sam. And, you know, it's proper European royalty job, isn't it? You know, we've both sort of got to keep a cup and wear the badges and all the rest of it that you get when you're a big club, Sam. And you know, here we go again. And so I was looking at, I mean, I don't want to give it absolutely everything away that I'm going to talk about in Under the Lights later on. But you know, Liverpool are handily placed among the favourites. So PSG are the outright favourites, you know, bearing in mind who they've bought over the summer and all the rest of it. Then City, then Chelsea, the holders, of course. Then Bayern Munich 7-1. Then Liverpool 9-1. I'm surprised though that United are also 9-1. I mean, I'm just not. I don't get the putting us and them on the same plane there, but there you go.
I'm all right.
We've got a world-class manager and they've got a fella off a box of Rice Krispies.
The world's healing. We're back together making Rice Krispie jokes.
I like as well, but about that we've both gone autumn-winter today as well, you know what I mean?
I did not know what to do this morning. I was like, did you happen to like, fuck, is this going to be too warm? Is it going to be too cold?
I looked at the temperature, looked at the fact it was raining. If I wear my baghouse without the fleece bit in it, I don't like the feel of it on shorts, sleeves. I thought, I'll go autumn, winter, and then you've gone autumn, winter.
Tomorrow night, what are we going to do? I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Just have to take, like, I don't know, like, you know, wear, like, Bermuda shorts with jeans over the top.
That's what they wear to the match, isn't it? I'll do that. Well, you know what I mean? If that's what people are wearing.
Well, the COP has, like, its own climate, though, doesn't it? It's like, you know, you look at the weather, and then you go, okay, I'll prep for that. And then you get to Anfield, and Anfield's sort of, you know, nearest to the sea, or nearest to the river, I should say. So, you know, you get mad weather whipped up off that. And then Anfield itself, once you're in, always seems to be the absolute opposite of what's going on outside. And it's like, it is dead hard to prep. And the only bag you can take in is a club shop bag. So you got, you know, you might have to nip in and get yourself the full kit.
The Bermuda shorts will be fine for me. I'm not actually in the cup tomorrow. I love Weller chat, by the way. This is really good. But no, I'm in the Upper Kenny tomorrow. First time in a while. But anyway, what was the footy question you asked me? Oh yeah, Liverpool and United.
Someone's one in the comments, does Neil wear Crocs? I mean, I'm not saying that he does, but you know.
We'll have to ask him that.
We'll have to ask him.
Maybe about the house, I'm not sure.
Someone said, heard of jackets, lads, yeah? Have you heard of the cops climate? So did you wear like a thick one? Or, you know, like one with some lining? Because you'd be fucking sweating cobs when you're in the cop wearing that. And equally, if you wear a thin one and you step outside and you've got to walk back to Kirkdale or Sandhills, you'd be fucking freezing.
And then if you're doing a big walk, then maybe the lighter one works for the walk. But if you're jumping in a taxi, then, you know, there's so much to think about.
There's problems here, mate. You know what I mean?
This is at this time of the year, isn't it? September, October, it begins to get quite difficult. Winter, you know what you're doing. You've got the big coat.
Any clip in the middle of this, by the way? No?
No, this is all gold.
Okay, all gold. Don't need any clips. Liverpool United, we'll get back to... I'm all right with United being talked up and all of the sort of... not so much pressure, but like the excitement surrounding them, because I think it suits Liverpool just to go about their business in the way that they have done so far this season. It's been a good start for Liverpool. I thought they were really good at the weekend, and you know, the rest of this month is very winnable. Even, you know, you've got Porto and you've got AC Milan in there, two big names, but you know, they're two sides that you know, they're sort of. The outcome depends on just how good Liverpool is, because if Liverpool are as good as they can be, then they win both games. The rest of the Premier League games are winnable as well. It's a massive month for Liverpool, I think, and I'm okay with this. You know, all of the, you know, the Cristiano Ronaldo talk. Let him be the talking point, and let Liverpool just go about their business.
Yeah, apparently they've stopped eating cakes at United because Ronaldo doesn't.
And even because Solskjaer are talking about him coming in and doing a big speech, and it's like,
that's what you're meant to do, lad. You're the boss.
I think that'll be an interesting sort of thing going on in the background. Like, who is the boss? It's one of those where this big name comes in, and he's
also said that he's now expected to win something, which is nice, isn't it? Like he said that I had 3 years, and now, like, you know, now I've got to actually win something. All right. So I thought, you know, United were always
it's wild. They are a bit wild the way they've been talking about their transfer activity, still needing a defensive midfielder. You know, Gary Neville would not say until Ronaldo had signed that they were ready to challenge for the Premier League when they'd signed Varane and Sancho.
And now Ronaldo's better than Messi.
Everyone's worried about putting this. I know everyone's worried about putting this pressure on him. You know, just in case he doesn't live up to it. But now they've got Ronaldo, it's all going to be okay. I'm quietly confident about Liverpool this season.
Yeah, well, I'm loudly confident about them.
I wouldn't swap I wouldn't swap our squad for anyone. I wouldn't, you know.
I mean, Chelsea's is quite good, but anyway, there's two home games obviously this week. We've got AC Milan on Wednesday and we've got Palace at the weekend. Some good questions there in the comments. People saying, you know, for instance, they can't see Matip playing 3 games in a week.
No,
I would agree with that. Someone else saying there, you know, what about giving Kostas a go at left back, because, you know, he didn't let anyone down when he came in, and, you know, the whole idea of it is that Robertson doesn't play 38 games in the league again and every single game in Europe and all the rest of it like he keeps doing. So are you into that? Do you think we might see Gomez or Konate this week?
I think he'll have thought post Milan, so I think we'll probably see a similar backline for the Milan game. Maybe Matip just because of what we've just said, but he had the international break off, didn't he? He's obviously played Leeds. You know, the sports scientists will be able to sort of see whether he needs a rest or not. But I think you'll certainly see changes. It's whether he decides, do we want 2 changes in the same game, say Palace, or whether we make one, say Simicast tomorrow night, and we keep Matip in there, and rather than disrupt 2 of them, do we bring in one? Do we take out one? Because, you know, one of the positions. Absolutely, and also one of the positions that we've talked about being excited about is centre back and how many options we've got there. You know, we've bought a 40 million centre back there. We've got Joe Gomez as well, who you know we don't want to forget about.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry for laughing in the middle of your point there, mate.
You always do this. They're a funny bunch in the comments.
It's because of the comments. Like Phil's put a remember when the club sold an LFC cape?
No way.
I do.
The only reason
I haven't got it. I haven't jumped off the wardrobe bollock with an LFC cape. That isn't the reason I'm single.
I was going to say the reason I remember it is you running into the office wearing one.
I mean, they've sold some absolutely wild shit in that shop over the years. I do remember the LFC cape. I also remember, do you remember, like, you know, I mentioned Bermuda shorts before. Do you remember the shirt that they did? And it was like, it was the stadium with like blue skies and
like
clouds.
Like a bowling shirt, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, but it was like a sort of like Hawaiian shirt, but like with the ground there, and then like, you know, the sky and clouds there, and it was just like, who goes in and goes, fucking yes, is right, lads, I'm wearing that on the lane at the weekend.
I've been looking for a shirt with a stadium on it for ages.
Is right, Liverpool. Oh yeah, that's a shout. Someone saying there, what about Chamberlain regarding rotation as a false nine? I mean, I'm not convinced by that, I've got to be honest with you, but I thought it was interesting that sort of Klopp mentioned it pre-season as like a thing that he wants to do. I do wonder what's going on a little bit behind the scenes. I was watching a little thing coming in then on the train, which I hadn't seen, which was an interview Sky had done with Klopp, and they were really digging into him about transfers and stuff like that, because that's what, you know, transfer obsessed people want all the time. And he was sort of saying, you know, I'm happy with the squad, blah, 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 I'm glad the window's shut, things like that. But he did make a comment the other day, which was sort of like, along the lines of, we need to do something now, type of thing, in January. And like, I know we're already now talking about the next transfer window when the last one's only just closed, but I'm not convinced that Chamberlain is any kind of answer in the front three, I've got to be honest with you.
No, I liked him when he came on against Wolves. I liked him when he came on against Burnley in that position. He obviously scores against Burnley, and I think he's got the attributes on paper. He came on against Leeds the other day, and my God, he looked like a fella who'd just had a young child born recently and hadn't slept any. He looked like me playing last night, hungover after Leeds. Dreadful, Jericho Lane. So, I mean, that's not me writing him off at all. I just think we'd much rather we had more options, and obviously the Harvey Elliott injury means that Chamberlain's, you know, he drops in there as we've got one less option in there. We've got one less option in the front three because Harvey Elliott could play there as well. So maybe that's sort of playing into
still injured as well.
Minamino, no one trusts him. Seemingly, Origi not getting into the squad. So, you know,
he might just getting to go to aways. He was just there with the boys, wasn't he?
Good, that, wouldn't it?
Did you see Bobby's Instagram?
No.
So Bobby's Instagrammed him watching the match at home. And like, wow, what does he? He's got like a name for Fabinho. He laughs at Fabinho. You know, like you know when Fabinho sort of swung at air before he scored the goal. You can hear Bobby laughing. And it's brilliant because like someone posted on Twitter, which is the reason I saw it, and they were saying, you know, like, I'm so stressed when I watch Liverpool on the telly, and they were like, and look at Bobby, and like you can just hear him going, yeah man, you know, listen, and then he's laughing his head off at Fabinho's, and then when the goal goes in, he's going like, you sort of hear like a bit of a like, yes boys, and he's just a cool fella, isn't he?
Did you see Simicast on Instagram yesterday?
Oh, with the 100 shirt?
Yeah, obviously they presented Salah with a 100 shirt to say well in for 100 Premier League goals, and Simicast has got a picture with Fabinho holding the 100 shirt, and he says something along the lines of class from the club that they're celebrating all of the goals that me and Mo Salah have scored over the past couple of years. I love that. Brilliant. The Greek Scouser, love sharks.
I love that loads of people have sort of experienced the same life as me. Yeah, like so someone mentions that their dad had that shirt we were talking about.
I thought you were going to say they wore the cape as well.
No, there's no cape. No one's owned up to the cape. But someone has reminded me of that. You know, that shirt that I was talking about. Someone photoshopped Tony Evans wearing it.
I bet he loved
that. And sent it to Evo. Oh yeah, Evo retweeted it like and embraced it. But he, you know, he's obviously the fella. If there's one fella in the world who's not going to wear that shirt, it's Tony Evans. So it was good. The Anfield Wrap wants someone to buy me an LFC cape. I've got to draw the line somewhere, mate. You know what I mean? In terms of what I do for the Anfield Wrap, and wearing a cape is not in my job description. I'm telling you now. Yeah. The cape's blown my mind, to be honest. I'm a bit gone here. Someone says, you haven't answered the Brill Cream comment. I haven't seen it, mate.
Oh, do you wear Brill Cream?
Do I wear Brill Cream? Nah, a bit grandad, that, isn't it?
I think that
I don't think I've ever bought Brill Cream. I mean, I put a bit of
Brill Cream
product
is a bit like 13-year-old. Do you know what I mean? Like when
like
Wet Look was in.
Brill
Do you remember
Cream.
Wet Look?
Like,
Wet Look hair.
Take a full, like, you know,
jelly
scoop on and then...
Yeah,
No,
dreadful.
no,
No.
is the answer to that, bro. What has happened to long sleeve football kits, says Bad Panda.
Oh yeah, I think it's under. Oh, well, it's
Shout.
not Under Armour. What's skins they call it now, isn't it? The skins they all wear. That's it. That's interesting. I noticed that as well. I mean, it's not that interesting, but I'd noticed in the context of this video. But yeah, I don't know. They all like the skins, don't they?
Yeah, someone says it's mad seeing me in long sleeve. It's like Klopp without glasses. There you go. Is a midfield of Hendo, Fabinho and Thiago too defensive, or exactly the engine we need to support the front three and allow Trent and Robbie, interesting one for Robertson there, the freedom to push forward? I mean, we'll see. I imagine that's the midfield we're going to start seeing, but I thought against Leeds that Fabinho and Thiago were really complementing each other and it was really promising.
Yeah.
Are you not having Henderson there or something?
No. Oh, I like it. I really like that as a three. I think the balance is almost perfect, and when you've got the three ahead of them, I just think when we first saw that against Everton last season, I was trying to work out what season that was. Last season, behind closed doors, the three of them played together and they were excellent. And obviously, the rest of the season, we didn't get an opportunity to see them together because of injuries and people dropping into centre back and so on. But I'm excited to see that more this season. I thought Thiago was excellent, by the way, at the weekend. He was sort of everything that we wanted when we signed him. Unlucky not to get a little goal as well at the back post. So he didn't look that defensive to me.
Someone says there, where's it gone? Loads of people just suddenly commented and it got off. Come back. Oh yeah, someone says I took from the interview that I referenced before that Klopp did want someone but didn't get him basically, and I can see a bit of that, I've got to be honest with you. I know we're always joining dots, but you remember when he obviously wanted a centre half in January, and then we did that weird, we went to Fantasy World and like number Ben Davis or whatever at the end.
In the bargain bin.
Yeah. And now he's already got off again and he didn't even play and it was all a bit weird.
I feel a bit bad for him, by the way. Like, imagine all the texts you get from your mates saying, like, this is amazing, he's done the interview, he's done the whole shirt thing, and then he just doesn't kick it.
I wonder if you could do like an 11 of just like fucking random players like that. So, like Andy Lonergan in goal. You could have Ben Davis. Ben Davis at centre half. Who was the other fella that we got under Klopp? I've completely forgot his name now. And he threw
played
him
up front.
Played him up front. Come on, Tom.
Some comments. Colger,
there you go. Yeah. Good shout. Someone who's young and has still got a memory there, helping us out. Yeah, so I wonder if you could do 11 like that of just like absolutely random fellas that we bought and never played. You could have like Jean-Michel Ferry in midfield.
Just about before my time, really, but I remember him in programmes, his name on the back of the squad.
Yeah, everyone said he was a spy. It was like it was like Houllier brought in this fella to be his spy at like Melwood in the dressing room and that, to see who was like slagging him off. And then like shifted him out again, and he never really played for us.
That is unbelievable.
That's what people said.
What a conspiracy that is.
Like, this just proves that, supporting Liverpool was always mad, and it isn't just the internet. And by the way, I do recommend, I wish I'd remembered his name now and written it down, but great article going around, doing the rounds. Loads of people have retweeted it yesterday, so you can find it if you want. Rory Smith did, James Beers did.
I know you're talking.
It's a long read, but it's a good one. It's an interesting one, and it's about the sadness of some online Liverpool fans. And I enjoyed it because I've got to say some of the Twitter discourse does drag me down. Yeah, Dean Van Nguyen.
That's a decent, that's
the lad who's written it. Hasn't been on my radar before, but it was a good piece, so well in to him. And it appears to have really riled some of the people who are negative virtually every day about Liverpool. Who knew? Yeah, do start that podcast and video channel, mate, because, I couldn't give a fuck if you do it, mate. You know who you are. I'm sure someone will tell you. All the best, enjoy the gym, mate. Up the Reds, that's been talking, mate.